If you own a cell phone, chances are you've received those random texts from someone who seems to know you. A message like, haven't seen you in a while, how are things? But if you respond, you could be sucked into a con looking to fleece you of your life savings. And the ABC News Investigates team found some of these seemingly innocent texts are coming from around the world. The people sending them could be victims themselves. Here's senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky with the Crypto Con.
Yoga, for me, it's mind and body, helps me to get clear.
For Shai Plonsky, a single dad, yoga and meditation are very important, especially after finding himself the victim of a scam that drained his savings and broke his heart. A woman calling herself Sandy caught his eye on a dating site, and a relationship ensued quickly.
Next thing you know, we're exchanging these messages all throughout the day and connecting in what felt like a pretty, deep, real way.
Sandy told Shai she was a successful businesswoman and investor who lived in Los Angeles, just 30 minutes from Shai. Sandy told Shai she made a lot of money investing in crypto. His business had struggled during COVID, and he soon asked for advice on how to invest his savings. But the pair would never meet in person, only communicate via text.
It was me who brought it up of, well, maybe you can show me a thing or two. So she was basically just kind of inching me, saying, like, if we're going to do this, like, just put a little bit of money in, see what it does for you.
At first, Shai invested about $2,000 in what appeared to him to be an independent investment site and made a 10% return, which he successfully withdrew. It appeared Sandy was the real deal. This woman's a catch.
I know. That's how it felt. I felt like, wow, what luck.
But a few weeks later, it was Shai's friends who sounded an alarm.
They showed me this article, and I read the article, and it essentially described what had been going on, and then, my heart just broke.
That article laid out a scam called pig butchering. Scammers groom their victims for months, according to the FBI, establishing a level of trust before enticing the victim into investing in a fraudulent cryptocurrency scheme. In Shai's case, it had been his entire life savings. Were you ever able to get it back?
No, I definitely was not able to get it back.
Shai reported his loss to the FBI and cut off contact with the woman he thought he was in love with, who he also realized was not the woman in that photo. And there's a twist. We tracked that woman down, who told us her image has been used for scams for years, and she has even received messages from individuals requesting she return money they thought they invested into crypto.
These scammers, they have playbooks. They know exactly how to talk to a 30-year-old software engineer or a 50-year-old woman with 2 teenage boys or a 70-year-old man who's just lost his wife.
Erin West is a prosecutor in Santa Clara County, outside San Francisco. Her team is a high-tech investigative force that tackles crypto and romance scams, handling thousands of so-called pig butchering cases over the last several years. In fact, ABC-owned stations found victims nationwide. In Chicago, a woman who lost nearly $1 million.
I had nothing left, and I have to sell everything.
And in San Francisco?
They entice you to get more and more money invested until they pulled out my 401.
And in Raleigh?
You feel pretty ashamed of yourself when something like this happens.
It starts with an innocent text from an unknown number, like, haven't seen you in a while, how are things? If you answer, the long game starts. They live well, they may tell you, houses, cars, boats, and if you bring up money, that's when crypto or other investment opportunities come up.
They're 100% masterful. They've thought through all the psychological tips and tricks into how to entice someone to give up their money.
I made a decision to essentially put in my life savings. So it was all my life savings that I invested.
The scam operation then blocks the investment site, which prevents the ability to pull money out.
To me, it's the concept of consuming that victim from snout to tail, taking everything that victim has, leaving nothing left but the bones.
They feel like they've lost a friend as well. They have a loss of a friend, and they have a loss of their money.
The FBI says losses to investment scams rose from $3 billion in 2022 to $4.5 billion in 2023.
This has led to tragic situations here in the United States. So not only are they losing everything, they're choosing to end their life as well. It's just a very tragic crime problem.
And the scammers are hard to catch.
That bad guy can move that money from one wallet to another wallet, laundering the money, layering the money, hiding the money from us to be able to follow the money.
Our ABC News investigation found that, shockingly, the people sending those text messages may be victims themselves. You're a survivor of a scam compound.
Yes.
This 36-year-old woman, Sarah, who doesn't want to use her real name, says she was trapped in what's known as a scam compound after answering an ad online for a customer service job in Thailand. She says the company interviewed her and then sent her a contract and a plane ticket. So up until this moment, everything seemed fine.
It seems like legit because every time I would call them, they would pick up.
Sarah flew from her home in South Africa to Thailand, was picked up at the airport, and says she was told she'd be driven to the company headquarters the next day. Instead, she was taken across the border into Myanmar and put on a boat with gunmen.
It was so scary because now, if this is a job, why do we have armed men?
Did you understand you were being brought to another country?
No. At this time, I'm thinking I'm still in Thailand, but I'm thinking maybe I'm in the, in the outskirts, the farms and everything.
This is a photo Sarah took from outside the compound before she was forced to turn in her passport and her phone's SIM card and was told there was no customer service job. ABC News obtained photos of the compounds from the UN, Interpol, and former victims. Sarah says they demanded a ransom to leave or she'd have to stay and do what they told her.
This lady told me, you're going to be a scammer. All you need to do, I'll give you the script, you need to learn it.
What was the scam?
The scam was getting people to invest into crypto.
Sarah was trapped in the compound for 9 months, only able to leave when a fellow victim who had escaped helped pay her ransom.
I used to work for 20 hours. Sometimes I was not given meal. It's like a prison. It's like a horrible prison.
There's two different sets of victims. And it's true that victims on both ends of the strand has really deal with a lot of repercussions.
In a report last year, the UN Human Rights Office estimated that more than 200,000 people are being trafficked and forced to work from scam compounds all around the world. The Philippines, Cambodia, United Arab Emirates, regions in Africa and South America. They're kept in dorms, guarded by armed enforcers. Physical violence is used to make sure victims meet their sales quotas, all to fleece people like Shai of their life savings.
It is a sophisticated, well-armed, well-financed, entrenched operation that really hasn't got much friction against it. And that's the tragedy of all of this.
An important message. Our thanks to Aaron Katersky.